It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
This is Dan Jurgen.
This is Jason J. Lewis, the voice of Superman on Justice League Action.
This is Mark Wade, writer of Superman Birthright.
And you're listening to The Krypton Report.
The Krypton Report podcast is dedicated to all things Superman, Supergirl, and the planet Krypton. We discuss movies, TV, game, comics, and all things DC. So join me, Tyler, with my co-host James and Jania. Welcome to the Krypton Report. And there's not just one, but two people. That's right. I got the usual James, the man of muscles, the man of steel. And I have the last son of Krypton, the man-child himself, Bryan Peters.
What do you mean, you people?
I didn't say you people. All right. So, fellas, we're here to talk about a few things. We're here to talk about some news, some Fandome, but also the reason why we didn't see Fandome live is we were actually at Motor City Con near Detroit.
No buy, Michigan.
An actual comic book convention. And what's funny you say that, Bryan, is just the night before Kiss was in Detroit playing a concert because my cousin went.
My mom was there.
So it's crazy.
For Detroit, Rock City, get up.
I love that movie. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is. They beat each other up for tickets. It's a good movie.
It really is.
But what's crazy is, so what's weirdly funny is, and we'll get into this with our Motor City Con, was just like some of the people that we interacted with at Motor City were on Fandome. And just the idea of like Fandome's going live, but yet it's not actually live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I have to edit that. So that's a pain in the butt.
What are you talking about?
It's music.
What are you talking about?
That's not licensed. So now I have to edit that, and that's more work for me.
There's no words.
Have you never listened to Vanilla Ice talk about Under Pressure and the lawsuit of how many notes you're allowed to have before it's copyright infringement?
Well, I missed that part, but I do remember him saying, "No, I'm not copywriting. Theirs goes bang 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 da da dang dang, and mine goes bang 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 da dang dang."
We got that cheese there. It's not the same.
Well, I'm sorry for ruining your life. You know. Okay.
Let's get
Maybe
into
I should just exit right now.
No,
We're just such a terrible person, Bryan.
I am.
So,
I'm a big pile of crap.
All right, we'll get back to the crap. So, news-wise, Batwoman Season 3 has started. And with that reveal, we got to see that they're bringing in Killer Croc into an episode. And he looks pretty dang awesome.
He doesn't look as good as James.
I mean, that's true.
I don't wear that much makeup. I don't wear any makeup. Unless it's Halloween.
Hey.
Everybody's entitled to one good scare.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Killer Croc.
He really does look great. Guys.
So I'm pretty excited to see that because I really feel like that is going to be Batwoman's thing this season. Like I watched the first episode and it was pretty good for season 3, and it was Batwoman versus a new Mad Hatter. So someone who got Mad Hatter's hat and was, trying to be the new Mad Hatter. So it just seems like that's going to be the big consensus for this season, is bringing in as many elements of previous Bat villains to draw us in. And it'll probably work.
Probably.
Because, that Killer Croc looks sweet.
Well,
he really does.
You ain't going to get a better Mad Hatter than we got in Gotham. I mean, come on.
Oh, my God. Mad Hatter in Gotham sucked.
Sold the show. Sold it.
Canceled the show. It was so bad.
I did. I did like how they've got the makeup and the teeth going all the way up the side. I wonder if it's going to have just a tiny bit of post there to like open the jaw a little bit,
Yeah.
So it doesn't just look like row of teeth up the side that never open. Or
right. I'm interested to see how they do. I mean, he looks good.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I do like it, and it's green. and it looks just very reptilian. It almost looks like a feasible character, you know?
Absolutely.
Because like Croc and Bane and Solomon Grundy, you know, those in particular, like they've gotten like just outlandishly massive in different mediums. So it's nice to see that Croc, you know, kind of seems like a feasible real character, not a King Shark version from Flash version of Killer Croc.
Man.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, my biggest complaint about Killer Croc in the Suicide Squad movie, the original Suicide Squad movie, is that he just looked like a guy with just a bunch of scales on him. Like he didn't like feel like Croc to me, you know. And when I see this picture of him and Batwoman, like you see him with the closed mouth, and like you're like, okay, these teeth kind of look like they're not really working very well. But and the other picture with Entertainment Weekly, when he has a mouth open and he's kind of like posing with his hands, you know, like looking ticked. Like I can see where all these teeth are going to come into play, and I think you guys are right. I think that we're going to see this jaw open, maybe a little CGI there, but he definitely feels more like the Waylon Jones Killer Croc that we need. Like I'm excited for it, man. I really am.
Awesome. So here's another piece of little information. The Superman and Lois soundtrack dropped, and that's awesome because I've been waiting to hear this and listen to it for a while. Like when the show first started, Dan Romer tweeted out about the pleasure it was to make the music, and I sent him a message like, "Hey man, I love your music. This is great. And will it ever get released?" And he said, "I'm not sure when." Well, we finally have it, and as of this recording, the Blu-ray home release has been released, and we are doing a special right now to win the digital copies. So that's out there.
Yes, when I pick up my digital copy, I just like Tyler did have the whole season.
Well, you know, since we can't play music, if anybody wants to know any songs that are on it, I will sing one for you, okay? Somebody save me.
That did come out, but that is not what we were talking about.
Yeah. You know, we just had the 20th anniversary of Smallville, and as of this recording, the complete series on Blu-ray was released.
Ooh. Okay. Going on Amazon right now.
Which I must say, I was pleasantly surprised today when I heard that mine was ordered, and I'm just waiting.
Oh yeah, you
so
did
excited. No, I did not, Jamie.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, score one for the girlfriend. Great success.
So I'm super stoked. I wonder how. I don't know. I heard the differences. I haven't watched it on, so I haven't watched Smallville on Hulu. Whenever I revisit it, I always throw.
I've watched it on Hulu just to have like backup, like if I'm rewatching an episode, or just to have it on the background when I'm like going about the house or whatever.
Right.
So let's see here.
Ooh, it comes with a digital code as well for you digital people.
Mm-hmm. We have one more episode of Titans to go, so by the time we record our next episode, Titans Season 3 will have ended.
Well, I am not. I'm not fully caught up. The last thing I saw is I'm somewhat near the end of that 51% episode, which I thought I finished, but I didn't. So we're seeing two people share a kiss, and maybe more. That's where I'm at.
I have half an episode left to like caught up. Probably not even that anymore. Less than 20 minutes an episode caught up. And by the time we record next time, I watched the season.
Yeah. So here's some information that is interesting. So we just had Fandome, right? And then today, or it was yesterday, we got confirmation that J.K. Simmons will be Gordon in the Batgirl movie. You think that would have been something they would have said at Fandome? But no.
I didn't see any of the Batgirl stuff, so I couldn't say if that's the case. But I did see the fact that he is going to be Jim Gordon in the Batgirl series, and that is extremely exciting. So happy to see him more.
This info.
Yeah, so I mean, it just makes me happy because we'll get more. Because that was the one thing from the Snyder Cut that was sad to me, was that one little scene with Jim Gordon talking to Batman. His couple of lines like, "It's good to see you playing more with others" and stuff, was not in the film. And we got less of Jim Gordon.
I mean, unless you watch the Snyder Cut, like, you really don't get any of our boy. You know, that's exciting.
You actually get the two scenes with him, or rather, you see the bullpen, the rooftop, and outside of the dam. And you don't get outside of the dam.
Oh yeah, good point.
In the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get less in the Snyder Cut of Gordon.
Oh. Well, I guess I shouldn't be on this podcast. I suck.
And then, as of today, they released the trailer for The Flash Armageddon. And I was like, man, where was this for Fandome? But, yeah, it's like a minute long. We see very quickly our villain in his human form. And it's cool. And then we see he's back at the Hall of Justice and he needs help and he calls on people to help him. And we see, of course, Green Arrow, who does it. I guess you could say I thought she was back in the future, but I guess not. But Oliver and Felicity's daughter is theirs.
Time travel doesn't mean nothing on the DC CW.
I mean, I guess. So.
I mean, it's supposed to have an impact, but.
I mean, didn't Barry get chased by like wraiths for that crap? And we see the best part was Black Lightning's there. And
you know what I liked?
Oh man, you're gonna take it. Go ahead, go.
Am I?
Yep.
Brandon Routh running down the street and ripping his shirt open just to his chest, and next time you see him, he's the Atom. He's Ray Palmer. He's not Clark Kent.
Oh, okay, so you didn't take the one. I was gonna say my favorite part is that the "Run Barry Run" line is said by Black Adam, or not Black Adam, Black Lightning in the background. You hear Jefferson go, "Run Barry, run."
Oh,
like,
really?
Oh, yeah.
No, I laughed at the teaser because I saw that Brandon Routh run down the street and rip open his shirt, and he's got a suit on and he's got glasses on, and he runs, but it's so quick that like when he rips it open, it just opened to his chest, and then next time you see him, he's in his Atom costume, telling Barry he likes his boots, and he's glad he noticed.
Yeah. Not to jump ahead. But the whole Barry has gold boots was the big reveal at Fandome for the Flash.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool for DC just to kind of like be dominating the headlines right now. I mean, they just had Fandome. They released, 4 hours worth of almost 4 hours worth of content, and they're still releasing bits of news days after. Like, they're holding the headline for a while.
So that's the news. Now let's jump into we were at Motor City Con, and there was a lot of cool stuff there. But we got to meet some cool people. So let's break it down quickly and talk about who we got to meet. James, I'll let you say one first. James, go ahead.
Should I do the big one or what?
Who's the big one? That's the question.
Well, okay. Well, in my opinion, the big one, because we got to meet him on the day of the 20th anniversary of Smallville. But got to talk to Tom Welling and get a picture.
Yeah, we did. Clark Kent himself. So we got our picture with Tom, got to chat with Tom on the 20th anniversary of Smallville. And that was cool. We wanted to chat with Rosenbaum, but we didn't get to because we were off to meet somebody else. And Bryan, I'll let you go and talk about somebody else.
Yeah, I think Bryan's got the biggest news there.
I got to meet Skeletor.
This is true. We did.
And,
This is true.
and I met Shredder, and I stood in line with Casey Jones.
This is all true. I told Krampus not to bother my kids this year, so.
And I got to meet Tom Welling, and Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, and it was a nice time.
Yeah. So we got to talk with Scott Snyder.
I sure did.
And that was pretty awesome. And the last big person we got to talk to me to is we met and talked to Dan Jurgens. And I got to talk to him and get my book signed. The books that I actually got signed was not Death of Superman, but it was...
That was me. I got a Death of Superman signed.
That was James. He's like, here, the book he probably signed from everybody.
And I also found a Superman Red action figure, and he signed the box of that too. So that was awesome.
I got my Convergence Superman #1 signed, which is the birth of John Kent. So that was cool. And I guess we saw a lot of great cosplay, just really good atmosphere being back at a con, and the people that we saw around. It was a fun time. It was a good time. I guess there is the piece of news that came out, and I'm going to hold off on this a little bit more because what bothers me about this news is not the news itself. It's the whole John Kent comes out as bisexual. Okay, but what bothers me about it is it's in issue 5. And today, so this came out last week, but today issue 4 came out. And what bothers me is I'm really getting tired with comics, them revealing stuff a month or two before the issue comes out. And I'm like, why do I want to read the issue now? I miss reading the story and being surprised and seeing development in the story without just being told what's going to happen. I mean, how much better of a reveal would that have been if I was just reading the book and it happened compared to them releasing. It's not like they released it and talked about last week, and then that issue is what came out this week.
Yeah, so, when Tim Drake, I think it was in Batman Urban Legends when Tim Drake came out as bisexual. You didn't see it coming. It was just in a panel, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll go on a date," and it was big. It was a big deal, and now John is just. Hey guys, this is coming up. We just want you to know about it. Please buy this issue.
I mean, spoiler is definitely the worst part about
right. And that's what I'm saying.
Besides people's reaction.
And it is what it is. I mean, the thing is, we talked about, the thing about John Kent is he's only been a character for about 6 years. And they've done a lot with him, with aging him up in the past 2.
Yeah.
And they haven't really done, any kind of romantic, relationship type stories with him, which I don't remember if there was something between him and Yara in the future state, if they alluded to anything.
I think there was alluding to, or I think there was some sort of relationship stuff Bendis' Legion when he
And
went
maybe
to
that-
the future, but I did not.
I didn't read it
I
'cause
didn't
I just
read all
wasn't-
of it yet. I actually have it, but I didn't.
I just I didn't read it because what do you call it? I just was mad at Bendis for aging John up.
Right.
And so, and that's the thing is John's at least an original character. So this is coming into like his story as he's like being developed and he's growing. It's not like one of these retcon things where we have these characters that just get retcon backwards. Like,
yeah. And you say that by, him being a new character, he is a new character and all the headlines say Superman is bisexual. And everybody's just like, what? Superman bisexual now? Like, Clark Kent not bisexual. Son, who takes over the mantle is.
And that's the thing that the headlines were misleading. And, I saw one person put, everyone knows Superman ain't bisexual. He loves Lois Lane. And the dude spelled Lois wrong and it was Lewis. And the dude responded to me like, he responded.
I'm sorry about that, guys. You type so fast, out of anger,
But it was just one of those things of like, yeah, you don't even pay attention to the character. But that's the whole point of the headline is to get the clicks and get people talking, even though it's false information. But hey, it's fandom time. So let's all dial into the internet. Yeah, that's how we watch the internet here. And let's talk about fandom.
Still have dial away.
Yeah, that's how it is in this house. Don't pick up the phone, Jania.
You got mail.
Oh man, I got disconnected. But yeah, so let me pull up my notes here.
You got mail.
And right off the bat, so the day after, I had some work to do at home, and I turned on and watched the feed. I just had it playing from YouTube. We, the three of us, we watched the Black Adam trailer, tease, part, huddled around James's phone while eating pretzels in the con. And then we watched the Batman trailer, watching Bryan's phone in the van. Like, oh, it looks cool on this phone screen.
Same thing with the Flash. It looked really good on the phone screen.
We're like, we have to see this now. So my notes go kind of in the order of what was presented to us and the way they did it. So here we start. Black Adam teaser. First, it's like a 4-minute thing, and it has them talking about Black Adam. And we see Aldous Hodges, who's playing Hawkman. We see concept art. We see Pierce Brosnan. And we see the Dr. Fate mask. And they're just kind of talking about the movie.
Yeah, I did like that. I mean, they're still hiding those other characters, but they said each one of who they are. And it's like the Hawkman across the chest, Cyclone across the chest, and then the helm.
And then Noah Centro, or however you say his last name, as Atom Smasher.
Oh, yeah.
Kanto. Yeah. And then they pan out, and it's Dwayne Johnson. He talks about, the power shifting of the DC universe, just like he did last year. But only this time, they give us a little clip, which was basically, it looks like our people digging and break Black Adam out of his tomb. And it's him showing up, and he grabs a dude and shoots electricity in him and turns him into dust, and then starts to fly up, and we get Black Adam. And the music sounded awesome. And his suit, from what we could tell, looked awesome. Because like what you said, James, his lightning bolt looks like it's burnt.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost embers burning in its chest. And it's shaped like it's not a a light up thing Shazam's was.
And I still don't know how they just didn't paint Dwayne Johnson and say, that's your suit.
It would probably take longer to paint him than to, like, all right, we're gonna paint you this one time, and then we're gonna design a suit around that, and then you have a suit to wear.
Well, they tried it on James, you see, and they ran out of paint in certain areas.
No, see, we're going to talk about James later, because James has had a little stand-in scene later, and we'll talk about that.
Hey.
But so that was the Black Adam, and it was cool. The one thing that does surprise me about the Black Adam part of the fandom was afterwards we didn't get any kind of like official release, like photo of him in costume. I was expecting we'd get some sort of like costume reveal. But so that was cool. It was a nice little tease. By the time the movie comes out, most likely, if they do Fandome again, which I think they should, I think it should be a yearly thing. The movie should already be out by the time they do it. So, and then the next part was Grant Gustin brought up, and they were talking with Grant Gustin, and the big reveal for the Flash was a picture of Grant Gustin, like a Photoshop, promo image or whatever, with gold boots.
Yeah.
Not even the Armageddon trailer. Just, I got gold boots now, guys.
That's all you need. That's all you need, man.
And we're like, duh, we know there was leaked photos on behind the set, man.
all you need is gold boots. Because once he gets gold boots, he's really the Flash. You see.
Oh.
So for 7 years, he hasn't been the Flash.
Heck no. Heck no.
Well, I'd agree. I'd agree the way everybody does everything for him. Runs.
Run.
All he does is run. Wells fixed something. Then it was Cisco, and then now it's Chester Chester.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
forget what his character name.
Chester.
Otherwise, yeah. No, his hero or villain name.
Well, let's not go there.
All right. So the next part is Aquaman 2. And it's a behind the scenes type trailer, which is fine because they're filming it. And it's less than like last year when we got the Suicide Squad, where it was like a trailer, but it was also behind the scenes. This was more behind the scenes, and it was like Momoa talking a little bit and James Wan talking. And, we saw concept art and some of the sets, little scenes of them filming on, and the big thing was Momoa was like, the tides are changing. The tides are changing.
My favorite thing from that was Black Manta.
Yes.
The set photos. They're official photos from the set, but yeah, that's what they are. And Black Manta was awesome. He looked really good last time. He looks so much better this time.
They just took it one step more with the silver chrome helmet and everything to make him look more like Black Manta from the comics.
Yeah. And his suit is less bulky,
I almost wonder sometimes when they're designing suits, like, oh, dude, that's perfect. That's too comic book accurate. Save that for the sequel. Now make it a little less comic book accurate, and we'll use that in the first movie.
Right. Makes sense. Really. That way we get another set of toys, too.
That's it. That's what I tell everybody. Every time you reboot a character, you do the suit or something different. For one, you put your staple mark on the character. Two, that's a whole new T-shirt, a new figure, a new poster, a new bed sheet or whatever, pajamas, because it's a new image of Batman. And I use him because we usually get like 3 Batman costumes per movie in every movie. So The next is a little bit about the Aquaman animated series. And it was kind of hosted by Fuel Leborg.
Oh, it looks so good. Oh my gosh.
What, Brian? We can't hear. You're cutting out, Brian.
It looks so good.
Yep, we're getting rid of Brian. Goodbye. I still haven't watched it yet. I actually was going to just turn it on with the kids around because I wanted to see more of their reaction. But then I was like, you know what? I want to put Jania through this suffering process too because I want to suffer alone. So I figured I would just wait till the four of us are together, and we'll suffer through a couple of minutes.
Suffer as a family.
Yeah, the kids will probably be like, "This is funny, Daddy," and Jania will be like, she'll look at me with that, "Dear God, what are you putting me through, Tyler? Do you ever want to spend time with me again?" And I'll be like, "I love you, Jania."
It's like, it looks like Teen Titans Go had an illegitimate child with the horrible Thundercats show. The new
Roar.
one. And we're supposed to be okay with it. And
It looks awful, and I didn't even see. I was at work, and I put on the stream. I only caught up to that point, Leborg and the clip that they shared, and just what I heard is like, sounds so stupid.
Yeah. And that's all we're going to say about that.
Single clip that I heard, it sounds so stupid. I was like, are you kidding right now? That is awful.
So the next panel, and this was cool. I liked this panel. But I wish there had been more. Was Echo Kellum, who played Mr. Terrific, host and kind of leads the Milestone panel. And they talked about Milestone, how they're bringing their line back, and how they're, the one line that they hadn't brought back yet was Blood Syndicate, and that Blood Syndicate's coming back. But then they talk about they have 2 movie projects, one being Static Shock, was going to be produced by Michael B. Jordan, and 2 animated feature films that are having the scripts looked at. And that was really it. It was a lot of talk. There wasn't anything, a whole lot to it. Nothing was being presented or really shown.
Right. That's exciting, though. From the experiences I've had with the Milestone characters, I want to see more. So,
yeah,
more screen time, that would be great.
Yeah, and like I said, I think Milestone is really rich that you could just do a series called Milestone, and just be their whole universe, like a show with all the characters in it, and tell different ways of telling stories in an anthology type thing. Then the next little panel was and this is weird because it's from Webtoon, and it's the Batman Wayne Family Adventures, but it's like a motion comic. It's weird because they talk about it like it's a show, but it's more like a motion comic. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. All right, so the next thing was the Suicide Kills the Justice League trailer. And this was cool. But I'll say the negative up front. The negative is, here we are over a year later, and we're getting the second trailer for a video game that was supposed to come out this year. Oh, no, next year. Originally, it was 2022. We knew that. So,
video games take a while.
But the idea is, how much of the stuff that we get in fandom was just more from the same we got last year? And this is the first perfect example.
Well, I know you're not much of a gamer, but this is normal.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
You don't put out a trailer for a game a year ahead of time, and then put out another trailer.
Yeah.
2 years ahead of time. You put a trailer out for a game 2 years ahead of time.
Yeah. Sure do.
Name me one.
Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, God of War for PlayStation, Horizon Zero Dawn, Death Stranding.
So when did the trailer for God of War come out?
Original one, it came out last year. It was a teaser trailer.
Oh, it doesn't count. Because it doesn't count.
Sure it does.
No, it doesn't. You know why? Because everything's changed because of COVID. That's why all these things are getting pushed back, is because they can't release the systems. They can't get the systems made to sell. so they're not releasing games to sell because
it was already planned for the game to come out next year, COVID or not.
But that's the issue with the other game we're going to talk about. And
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
this one is strictly next gen. This one's only on Xbox Series
Right.
and
PS5.
PS5. I mean, one knew it was going to take a while to come out, and I mean, moving. This is actually kind of an interesting story trailer. But if you have any experience with the Arkham games, when they open up, see the same road from Arkham Asylum as they're driving to Arkham Asylum, and they have the inmates, the 4 characters, in the same cell area in the beginning of that game where the Joker escapes and starts his rampage.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's the same one, same floor, same laser grid, like doors almost. I don't. They're just you can't get past them. Shock that they keep you in.
It is rock steady,
Yeah, it's not uncommon for a big game release to release a teaser 5 years before the game comes out.
Well, at least I know, I used to be a bigger gamer when I was younger, and that's since gone away. I've been playing a little more recently, but that's not gonna last. I mean, I know that they'll talk about games for, at least a couple of years ahead of time, but that's like in magazines like Game Informer and those types of magazines and stuff. They'd let you know what was coming out, and but that was time.
it's just crazy that
Don't worry about it, guys. It's gonna come out on time. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah, this one might.
It will.
But the graphics look amazing. We see more in the trailer of why they're being. Amanda Waller sends them into Metropolis. That it looks like Brainiac's basically taking over the Justice League. So now they have to kill the Justice League.
And Green Lantern, Flash, and Superman are under Brainiac's control.
Yes, and it's interesting to me that the Suicide Squad we're meeting, none of them are metas except King Shark, if he's in the meta or if he's like the demigod or whatever. The other 3 are just skilled humans, and they're like, kill the Justice League. It's like, I want to say that King Shark looks amazing.
Sure does.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
John Stewart Green Lantern looks awesome. Flash looks okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand the goggles. I understand it. He looks a little different. But John Stewart, man, Green. Yeah, I was excited. I'm really excited. Superman looks fantastic.
You mean John Cena Superman? 'Cause that's what he looks like to me. He looks like someone made John Cena Superman.
Any connection to the character Peacemaker? No. Okay.
And so that's our segue to the next one, was the Peacemaker panel, which I will say is kind of the best panel of the whole thing. Not because of content, but because what happens is you get a panel where it's James Gunn with the cast, and then it goes into the trailer. So it's like they really were talking the way we would want, like the people come out, they talk, and then here's the trailer. And it was funny because just the whole way they talked about Peacemaker, and they, James Gunn talked about, I can't believe I'm filming this, that Warner Brothers actually let me do this. He's talking about certain scenes like that. And then they show us the trailer. And did you guys watch the trailer for Peacemaker?
Oh yeah. I mean, John Cena he's the only reason that this is going to work for me.
Yes.
Like, absolutely, because he sells it so well.
I looked at Junior and said, if it was not John Cena, I wouldn't watch this. But because it is John Cena, I'm going to watch it. And what's funny is when I was watching the Peacemaker panel, not the trailer, Solomon's like, he's looking, he's like, that's John Cena. Wait, John Cena's real? I'm like, yeah.
I couldn't, all these years, Dad, I couldn't see him. Dad.
I think he thought John Cena was like the character because he's seen like the wrestling stuff. I didn't think he realized that John Cena was his name. So he's like, John Cena's real?
He just couldn't see him, Tyler. He couldn't see him.
That's funny.
Oh, man. Okay, so the Peacemaker trailer, just the beginning, he's like, you gonna let me out? Why? I'm a superhero. What superhero are you? Peacemaker. Peacemaker's not a superhero.
There's no hero named Peacemaker. I'm famous.
And, I mean, so the highlights of the trailer, because there's so much just like quick, is we are getting Adrian Chase as Vigilante. And they're both like, yeah, we're good guys. We only murder bad people. So, we're good. We see the Peacemaker helmet light up. We have Robert Patrick playing his dad.
Which is simply amazing.
I'll buy it.
Yeah.
And then I think, the highlight is when he sees his eagle, and his eagle wraps his wings around him. He's hugging me. Dad, get my phone. I want to take a picture of this.
He said, I don't want to move. I don't want to scare him.
And then we see him like in the car with him, like his head hanging like a dog. And you're just like, this is going to be like, there's so many quick cuts of like gratuitous violence but yeah, it's going to be over the top.
Oh my, yeah. There's a scene. I absolutely have no idea what's going on. He's dancing in his underwear, and then
that's the James scene. That's the scene where James came in and was the double.
And then some chick is like slamming him back and forth against the wall.
Some 80s metal band fangirl chick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be something, and that comes out January 13th.
And it looks like it looks like it's absolutely coming up after the Suicide Squad. I mean, saw the stinger at the end, and then beginning of this, he's waking up in the hospital. So.
And speaking of the Suicide Squad, there was like a little thing of just them thanking James Gunn, and just saying thank you, and then Fuelborg talks about how he's mad how Javelin didn't get his spinoff, and wasn't part of anything. So it's kind of funny. And John Cena's like, well, maybe we can figure something out. And then we get a little thing where it cuts for Superman and Lois season 2. And they're like, and it basically was just Lois and Jordan giving us a walking around the set and just talking about the set for the Kent house. And that was it. It was like a little bit tour of the bottom floor set that they shoot for the Kent house. And, yeah.
Yeah, just that everything that they shoot externally is outside, and everything that's inside the house is on that set.
And the second floor to the house is actually the boys' room is a separate stage. And I was just kind of like, really? That's it? No kind of like little panel of them talking about what's in store for season 2 or thanking the fans for a great season 1. And no like date of season 2 will premiere in January or February, Nothing. It was really a waste. And then it goes into the Farewell to Supergirl panel, which to me felt like it was chopped up like it's going to be a DVD, Blu-ray extra. Like it's something they filmed to put on the Blu-ray, and then they just kind of cut it up and put little bits of it on here because it was really awkward and kind of lacking. But I don't know if you guys have seen this or noticed, the Fandome stream in China was longer because there's a lot of panels that are extended that are coming out that had more information from the Chinese stream than what we got.
I do know that, was it China that used a lot of Zack Snyder's Justice League and his movies as a lot of their like advertisements in between things.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a couple things I've seen from the Chinese thing that I'll point out as I get to it here. And then we didn't get a trailer or anything or nothing really talked about other than we got to see the character sides, which we'd already seen for My Adventures with Superman. We got a mention of it, and we got the character like side pictures, and that was it. Nothing from the voice cast. No announcement of when it might be coming. Honestly, out of all the projects that we've heard talking about for HBO Max, nothing was mentioned, which makes me wonder if maybe that'll be something at Fandome, next year or something. And then in the Superman comics, they talked about 1036 starting the big War World story. And then we got that now Superman. Now this, okay. So I've heard some controversy over this. And my issue is not this, but it's something part of this. But Superman's new motto is truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. And my issue with that was, I thought that was John's motto. Because he was the one that had said it, and I thought that was what they were making his Superman to be, was truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. But now that's just Superman, period.
I was gonna say, wasn't that what Clark told John and John told the press?
Yeah. So I thought that they were like, that was his motto. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just Superman. So I'm like, that's fine. I just, I thought they were just trying to do something to make John a little bit more like in his own Superman. So. Well,
I do like it how it makes it to all people.
Yeah, we've had lengthy discussions about the American way. Yeah. And then the next part was Cam Newton and his Meshka hats, his felt hat company that's making Superman hats. And they're only, a measly $750 a piece for the cheap one, the Clark Kent hat. And I'm like, really? It's like that. Yeah. It's like the $500 gamer chair that Bryan's buying me for Christmas. See,
you ain't getting nothing. If my fat butt can't fit in that Batman chair, you don't get crap.
What?
You'll get your chair when you fix this damn door.
That's our inside. And then, okay, so the next one, we actually get a little bit more of a teaser footage.
Rent?
And for the movie that I know everybody, the DC movie, the fifth DC movie that'll be out next year, League of the Super Pets. And we actually get to see, Crypto talk through, Dwayne Johnson's voice, and we see Ace talk, Kevin Hart, and
dogs can't talk, Tyler.
I don't know about you, man, but my dogs do.
No, they don't.
Not when you're around, because they're afraid of you.
You're a liar.
That was funny. The trailer was funny, though. League of Super Pet. When have you ever seen a league with one pet?
And then what's funny is at the end of the little thing, it says trailer. It says 5/20/22, and it says trailer coming in November.
I mean, of course, it's going to just be crazy and wild. And part of this teaser, Bat Hound just takes a leak. He's like, "How much did you have to drink?" Because it just keeps going.
So, I mean, that's going to be a fun movie. I think it's going to be a fun time at the movies.
I mean, if you've ever seen Secret Life of Pets, I mean, this is that with super pets.
I mean, what was great?
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I think it was when we saw Shang-Chi, maybe. Maybe that's what it was when we. No, maybe it was Jungle Cruise. I don't remember when they did the little.
You can't watch a Marvel movie. That's against the rules.
He walks out, and it's the like clip from we saw last, recently, where it's just Crypto walks and he presses it, and his cape comes out and he flies across the screen and everything. And that was in the theater, and how kids in the room. Maybe it was Addams Family. That's what it was. It was for Addams Family.
Addams Family makes more sense.
And the kids got all excited in the theater, so that was cool. All right, so the next one is just it was quick. It was one of those news flash things, and I just combined these two together. They're at different times, but Doom Patrol and Titans both got picked up for season 4. So that's awesome. And then the next one was the Flash movie, minute clip thingy. Ezra Miller comes out and he kind of talks and introduces it, and it was all awkward. And I told Jenny, I was like, why does he look like he's shooting a John Lennon biopic? And so we basically get to see Barry's new suit in the clip. And it straight up looks like that New 52 Francis Manipul art. His helmet looks a little clunky on the face, but we see him and we hear voiceover, which is Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne talking to him about why would if he could go from every world, why is he here in this one?
Yeah,
and
go to any timeline, any universe, and fight.
And then we see the Barry that we presume is for that Earth. And then we see him spray painting his costume. And then we see Supergirl in it, but she's just standing next to them. She doesn't say anything or do anything. And our Barry says, "Are you in?" And we see a shot from behind, and it's the bat ears as he comes walking out.
Well, nobody does anything in this trailer.
No, because it's
basically it seems like the only reason he wants to stay on that Earth is because his mother is alive on.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know anything about the plot, really.
Yeah, I mean that's really the biggest thing I can gather from it. Is his mother's alive on that Earth? That's what it seems like anyway, and that's not even a given.
Yeah. And that was it. I mean, it was exciting. It was cool.
I heard, and I haven't really caught it myself yet, somebody said that in one of the quick snips, one of the frames, it's like Supergirl might be some kind of odd or something.
Well, there's some rumors, but I haven't heard too much, so I'm not going to address.
I don't go through stuff.
I'm not going to address the rumors as supposedly who might be in it because, we have too much stuff to talk about. We don't need no rumors. So, yeah. What do you guys think of to me, the biggest thing about that was the costume. What do you think of his new suit?
The suit looked really. I think the helmet, the face might be a little odd. It's kind of a little quick to see, and it's not really in good lighting.
Yeah.
But I do like the lines, the light up. It does have the boots.
So yeah, I mean, it looks cool, but I kind of, I'm kind of leaning more towards his other suit as of right now. So.
Well, I think that the glowing suit is probably made of Speed Force energy. Excuse me. It has a lot of a Mark Waid Flash feel to it, in terms of some designs that he threw together for Wally West in his run. We have the white and the gold lightning bolt, but when you see that picture at the bottom with Barry in the middle, and then I guess Barry Part 2 on the left, it does look and looks like it feels a little bit like 90s Power Ranger suit. Like I'm looking for Ivan Ooze to come out of the corner.
Mm.
I think that they're on the right track, but I just don't think they're there just yet. but they could edit it more later with some like CGI and stuff. So
It's true. I mean, we do get to see the Flash ring, so that's cool.
But
One thing we do see
in New 52 vibes in it as well. But
one of the things we do see on snippets we see in the trailer is the bat suit laying on the ground and blood all.
Yeah, we do.
So I think Michael Keaton got hurt real bad, been out of the game.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense.
I mean, the guy's 70 years old, so come on, you know.
So, moving on from the Flash, we got one image of Gwendolyn Christie as Lucifer and Sandman, which is kind of weird that they didn't really talk that property up, because later they do a whole panel for Sweet Tooth, which is another DC type project with Netflix. So we get Injustice film. They come and they talk about it a little bit. They have Justin Hartley on there. They have Ed Boon, which was sweet. And so many people thought Ed Boon was going to announce Injustice 3, the game. And guess what he didn't do? Announce Injustice 3, the game. And Justin Hartley was talking about, you know, how when you're a kid, you know, you always want to be Superman, but then when you get older, like, you realize, like, oh, no, you don't want to be that perfect, and how it's so hard as an actor to be Superman. But this kind of version with this depth, you know, attracted him. Like, whatever, dude, get out of my house. But then we get Blue Beetle, and Blue Beetle was really nothing. It was just the director and the screenwriter and the actor on the screen, and they were just talking about that. Yeah, we're doing Blue Beetle, and it's about a Latino family that's close, and it was going to be about the culture and bring that culture out. It was all like fluff. Then we got the Smallville reunion panel. It was Tom and Michael sitting on the couch talking.
Yep, talking with Tiffany Smith.
And that was awesome. But it was also even more awesome when you realized that it was a lot longer and you could go watch the whole thing later on YouTube, which I did. And they had like cool intercuts with people saying happy, you know, anniversary Smallville. They had John Glover, James Marsden, Michael Cassidy, Jessica Parker Kennedy, and then Sam Witwer, Laura Vandervoot, and then it Justin Hartley, of course, and then it ended with a special message from Kristen Crooks. So it was cool. I mean, they didn't say anything that like I hadn't really heard other places, you know, nothing big or anything, and there was no talk about the supposed animated series that Tom and Michael want to do. So it was cool, but I felt like it could have been something more.
You know, with DC dipping into the nostalgia area the way they have been with the Batman 89 book, 78, and Batman 66, like that. You'd think Smallville, if the stars, the two main characters, are down for it and they would like to do it, be an easy. You could see it being an easy win there for DC and them riding the nostalgia wave.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So
I'd be all in on it.
Yeah, I mean, it'd been the perfect time to announce it and really talk about it with the 20th anniversary, and of course the box Blu-ray set. But all right, so moving in, the next one is the other video game that I was talking about that was supposed to come out in 2021, and that's Batman Gotham Knights. And we got a more trailer narrated, like a different half of the story, narrated by Penguin, basically trying to tell Dick Grayson that the court doesn't exist. And intercut with, you know, it was a little quick panel with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo talking about the Court of Owls and creating it and going up there and seeing them making the game and bringing that world to life. And The graphics look great. They look even better. And now I'm worried that, Gotham, this game's going to be just a next-gen game by the time it comes out, and I'm going to have to buy my PS5. I won't have a choice.
Sucks. I have to buy a Series X. Yeah, woe is me. I have to buy a freaking Xbox Series X.
But I love the Court of Owls, and it's been like the biggest thing to come out of the New 52. The biggest thing that's happened to Batman in a long time. And I sent you guys like a little photo I put together that shows the Court in the comics. Then when they appeared in Batman versus Robin, which they should have got their own movie. Just going to throw that out there. Then how they did them on Gotham, which their masks on Gotham sucked because the regular Court of Owl masks are so creepy. And then at the bottom is a shot of some in the court in the video game. So, I mean, it's definitely something that would be awesome, in live action, something that maybe, this is me speculating, they could build into Matt Reeves' world, with his supposed television show and everything that he's building in his Batman universe or whatever. I think the court would be awesome. But what do you guys think about the game? Bryan, you in? What character you want to be?
Nightwing. I mean, hello. No, man. I mean, I'm definitely going to play Nightwing probably the most. I'm looking forward to some Tim Drake Batman though, or Tim Drake Robin. My gosh. Like they said that every character will play different, and Tim's going to have like a little short teleport thing. So I almost feel like I'll play as Nightcrawler and Tim. I'm very excited. Like, and, especially if you guys get PlayStation 5s, and we can the three of us can play together and find the fourth.
Be amazing if they did crossplay on this.
Oh yeah, I mean, Solomon has already assigned us all our characters that we have to play the game as. So Jania has to go through the game as Batgirl. I have to go through the game as Nightwing. Solomon, of course, is going through the game as Red Hood, and Sayla is Robin. So we have our. Oh no, she's on. I mean, she was like, because originally, he had said Batgirl, and she said no, I'm taking Robin. So Jania is the one that kind of just got dropped with the character. Like, okay, so. And then the next panel was Batwoman, and it was Javicia and Rachel coming out and talking, and then they had a little spotlight on Luke Fox and Batwing, which was cool, but the show had already premiered for season 3, so they weren't really giving us anything new or showing us anything at all. And then we got the trailer for Catwoman Hunted, and it's a Catwoman feature animated film, but is very, very anime.
Oh, very anime.
It's not.
My daughter would probably love
Yeah.
it.
It's not as anime as.
Is she trying to steal the Dragon Balls?
Yeah, it's not as anime as what was the Batman one that came out?
Batman Ninja.
Yeah, the one like DC release I don't own. But yeah, Catwoman Hunted February 8th, and I don't know if this is what I'm going to buy. And I usually buy them all,
I like
we'll
anime.
see.
I haven't gotten Ninja, but it's not. I don't know. I just haven't gotten it. I have watched it, and I'm due to rewatch it in quite a few years, and I enjoy anime. Take a look at this, and see what it looks to be, and see if my daughter will like it because she's into anime.
May the force be with you, James. But out of that panel, we were told that we're getting basically, they said 5 movies, but technically to me it's really 4. Oh no, I'm sorry, it is 5 movies, but we have the bonus. So here we go. This is our slate. No art release, no information, just names. Catwoman Hunted. The next one is Constantine, House of Mystery, which is going to be a short, and then it'll have all the other showcase shorts on the release. The next film is Teen Titans Go and DC Superhero Girls Mayhem of the Multiverse. So I wonder if that'll be kind of a continuation of where they were together, or it'll be a continuation of what happened in Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans.
I hope a little bit of both.
Yeah, me too.
I do. Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans was fantastic. I love the crossover, the Space House crossover with DC Superhero Girls.
Yeah, it was fun. Me and the kids watched it. It was a good time. And then the next one.
I think I bought those episodes.
Yeah, I did. Green Lantern, Beware My Power. And that one makes me wonder if it'll be the Green Lantern of the new continuity. Just because. And I say that because so far, everything that's on here doesn't tie into the continuity. And there's no Justice League movie. There's no Batman movie. Except the last one is Battle of the Super Sons, which is going to be the first DC animated CG movie. Direct. And I'm interested in what that all is going to include. Is it going to be John Kent versus Damian? Are they kids or what? And then sometime next year they said they're going to release the Long Halloween Deluxe Edition.
You said Challenge of the Super Sons?
Battle of the Super Sons.
Yeah, it'll probably be them against each other, I'd assume.
So, I mean, that's technically not a Batman movie, not a Superman movie, and not a Justice League movie in the next year.
I like the sound of that. You know, I really, I enjoyed the last continuity building. You know, so to see them do it again and get to see movies on characters we didn't get movies on before, that's awesome.
Yeah, like The Flash and Green Lantern. So that's my fingers crossed is that Green Lantern will be part of that continuity, just to kind of continue to thicken that up. We had the Legends panel, which I didn't really watch because I'm done with Legends. And then we had Bat Wheels. And it was just concept art and the theme song. Unless you watched it in China, where you got to hear the voice actor who plays Bam and the voice actor of Robin talk a little bit about their character. But the kids saw it. They think they're excited for it. They think it looked kind of cool just from the little concept art. And I mean, that's who it's for. So they announced the Batman Unburied audio drama. Gina Rodriguez will be voicing Barbara Gordon. Sam Witwer will be the villain, Harvester. And M'Baku himself, Mr. Winston Duke, will be Batman. And that's the one from on Spotify. So, and then after that was the Batgirl panel, which was just them basically doing nothing.
Didn't I hear they said that Batgirl is going a redhead?
Yeah, they said that her hair will be red. And I'm like, okay, are they going to dye her hair? Or is it going to be like, I always like the idea of it as a wig, you know, like the old 66 Batman as part of her costume, you know?
Yeah.
And then the same kind of thing they did with Batwoman. But, you know, Barbara Gordon's red was always more of the natural redhead, not what it was for Batwoman. We saw like a concept art piece, but that was really it. Then they come out and say that they're doing Harley Quinn season 3. And it was basically King Shark and Harley talking about season 3, that animation takes a while. And they kind of bicker back and forth and talk about it, that it's coming and all the stuff they had to do for it. It was funny. It was just kind of cool that, you know, that it's coming. But nothing really. And then we got a little bit of a panel on Batman the Caped Crusader, which, is J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, James Tucker, Bruce Timm. And Bruce Timm's, he used part of his pitch for this was it's more Batman the Animated Series than Batman the Animated Series was. Back to their initial concept idea, a little bit more noir. He pitched it using the Batman Strange Day short that they did a few years ago, where they had the 75 years of Batman. They talked about how it would be no Justice League, just Batman, Bruce Wayne, very low tech. Bruce Wayne is the Mask. And then they had something on TikTok where you could scan a QR code and do a Be Like Batman. So yeah, I mean, I kind of was hoping for some concept art or something for the Batman Caped Crusader cartoon, but we didn't get anything. And like you guys were saying, like with Bruce Timm, does that mean that Batman's going to try to get with Barbara Gordon? But if there's just Batman and nobody else, so maybe not. Maybe not. She's safe right now.
Well, who knows? I mean, DC's push for every now it's basically set at his other half. So
not for Bruce Timm.
we could see if he rolls that way and what happens there.
Let's see. The next thing was DC mobile game. There's a new killing villains is the name. Todd McFarlane talked a little bit about the toys. We saw a Swamp Thing. The one that got me the most was they did a little thing for Young Justice Season 4 Phantoms. It was like the first few minutes of the new episode. They established that it's Earth 16. It has a really weird 90s voiceover narrator talking about it. And then they released the first 2 episodes of the seasons now on HBO Max.
Heck yeah. And I watched them.
I did too, but it caught us off guard because we were hoping for like a trailer for it, release day. And they're like, nope, it's now on HBO Max. It dropped today. There you go.
I mean, that is a hell of a gift. 2 episodes of Young Justice.
So this Thursday, we will literally have 3 new DC properties drop on the same day on HBO Max.
And I watched Titans and Young Justice. And actually, I'll watch Young Justice first. And then I'll watch Titans. And I started it with her, so she wanted to go back and start at the beginning. So I did.
And then the next part was our little Ava DuVernay section. And she was doing they have a lot of time to talk about this DMZ comic book show they have with Rosario Dawson. But I'm not going to go into it because I don't even know what it was. And basically listen to the writer talk about they just changed everything from the book. So whatever. But they do show like a little clip of Naomi. And that was one I thought that we'd actually get a trailer for. And it was basically her getting an alert, something about Superman. And she grabs her skateboard, and I'm just kind of like, who skateboards anymore? I feel like that's something that Hollywood just tries to keep alive because I don't feel like people actually skateboard anymore if they don't live somewhere where it's warm. So, but, and she's like, falls on her back and looks up and sees Superman fly by. So I ask you boys, what Superman did she see? Bryan, you go first.
Oh, I haven't watched the trailer, but I'm gonna go with Tyler.
I mean, that's the one I'd go with.
That's who I go with. That's who it should be. I mean, that's who it should be because with that show with Superman and Lois, they're establishing kind of, I want to say, the new Arrowverse. And it would be stupid to have Naomi set on a different Earth after Crisis and try to do some alternate. It just makes more sense to just straight up make it Tyler Superman.
Well, the fact that she is from a different Earth in the comics, Crisis would be
right.
Would be the storyline jump off of that she would be on Earth Prime.
Exactly. See, James, that's why you get it, man. All right. The next part was Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And Asher Angel has definitely hit puberty. Because by the third movie, if they're not careful, Zach Levi might not have a job.
Right.
But it was another one of those behind-the-scene type trailers. And it was cool because they talk about how they showed us a lot of concept art. They showed us little scenes being filmed, but we got to see Helen Mirren in costume. We saw Lucy Liu. There's supposed to be a third one of the goddesses that we didn't see. We saw the Shazam family costumes. They talked about more like Greek mythological creatures like centaurs, harpies, minotaurs, and that we're going to go to like the Rock of Eternity, the Library of Eternity, the Realm of the Gods.
Well, they said dragons too, because there's even a scene where Zachary Levi is holding like a prop dragon tail and acting like he's holding on to a dragon's tail. That's going to be really fun to watch.
Yes. And it looks like we see the wizard Shazam, which makes me wonder, will Dijon Hansu appear in Black Adam in a scene? Like, it only makes sense for him to be in Black Adam. And I feel like Fury of the Gods is going to be that movie. It's going to be part of the Shazam movies, right? But it's going to be like kind of like a trilogy, like when they do Shazam 3, that'll be the movie probably with Black Adam in it, and it'll pull it back around, to where, and this will be like the middle chapter that kind of stands out. But see, in the Chinese stream, you found out that this movie takes place 2 years after the first one. And I wonder if we'll get any tease to Dr. Savannah and Mr. Mind at all.
That I'm not really sure if they're going to. They've got a lot of characters to work with.
Yeah.
Shazam family. Bringing in the gods and other creatures.
So I'm excited for that one. And that one just bums me out. See, that one makes sense that even though they're farther in production, like, they finished wrapping that movie. Okay? But it doesn't come out till 2023. They're still filming Aquaman, and it comes out in December of 2022. And that's because I think they might next year start on Shazam 3 so that they can do Black Lightning 2022, Shazam 2 2023, then Shazam 3 in 2024, and kind of keep that momentum coming. You know what I'm saying? Riding that wave.
Right. Well, even with the de-aging technology and, the way they can make children look young, if you wait any longer, you can't turn adults into children.
Right. Right. I mean, they tried to de-age some kids in It Chapter 2, and it just didn't quite work as well either. So
yeah. I mean, the de-aging technology has gotten pretty wild over the last few years. But
the fact that Mary Marvel is played by the same actress in both forms tells you something.
Yeah. I mean, it almost looked like it in the last movie, but this time
it did.
For sure.
Yeah, it did. And they were just like, we'll save some money. The next thing was the Wonder Woman 80 panel, which was a joke. It was a straight up joke. It was Patty Jenkins and like Linda Carter barely talking. And I'm like, no. If it's 80 years of Wonder Woman, you're doing this, it should have been a good 15-minute panel with writers, artists talking about Wonder Woman. and celebrating the character. But I don't want to hear Patty Jenkins talk about the character. After giving us 1984 and her Unbalanced, and then they mentioned that they're going to be doing Wonder Woman 3, but that was all the details.
Well,
and the most
now they're saying that stream don't like films.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to listen to her talk right now. So.
Well, do you guys think that she's going to be in charge of Wonder Woman 3? Because she was on board to do that like Rogue Squadron movie for Star Wars, and I think something happened with that.
I'm with the way Kathleen Kennedy has done Star Wars until it's actually shot in the can. I'm not really looking at anything. And the way that, she was announced to do that and everything was all hyped. Wonder Woman 3 might be her like saving grace of really being able to come back. Because we'll see, but it did not do.
She is still tied to Patty Jenkins, she's still tied to Rogue Squadron, and it looks like she's tied to do a Cleopatra movie. Yeah,
that was the one that was like going to be her big next movie, which was her and Gal doing Cleopatra. And my thing is, we'll see, because it might be like, go make Wonder Woman 3 for us first, before everybody doesn't want to do it. Let's win back our fans.
Well, have you noticed how Disney is being very cautious right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not doing any new Star Wars stuff, like other than like some Mandalorian here. They're moving some dates on Marvel things. Like they're being very cautious. And I think the Scarlett Johansson thing has made Disney even more cautious and more careful of who they choose as talent. So I would be I'm going to be very surprised if Patty gets to do that Rogue Squadron movie. I really.
Well, those big corporations can't, these studios that can't do what they want. They still have to work within some contracts that they themselves into. So
they have to be careful about the new contracts they sign. But I mean, look at
the changing landscape, and the streaming and theater. None of that's settled yet.
And you look at how Kathleen Kennedy, like I said, has handled Star Wars. We'll see. We'll see if Rogue Squadron comes out or whatever. Like, I'm not holding my breath. If Dave Filoni's doing something, then I'm more interested, because he actually gets stuff done. But moving on, there's a comic coming up called The Trial of the Amazons in 2022, which sounds interesting. Like that might be a really big Wonder Woman kind of event. Here's something that got swept under the rug that no one really noticed, but I was excited about, was that Pennyworth was picked up for season 3, and it's moving to HBO Max to become a Max original. So that tells me that they're trying hard to get all their shows and stuff back in-house. And that the full Pennyworth series will be on HBO in 2022. So you can catch up and watch that.
Well, in the last HBO Max video, like our fan or whatever, that HBO Max, they had some small stuff. They aren't trying to do that.
Yeah, I mean, so what they don't have, Gotham, Batman 66, Smallville, and then we know the stuff on Netflix will be there eventually, because we all know they talked about the contracts eventually expiring. So we know that'll all come over soon enough. So they're trying, Whoop. Crypto.
Oh, the little doggy.
And then before we get into the last thing, was for The Batman, we learned that Robert Pattinson auditioned to play Batman while wearing the Val Kilmer panther suit mask, which is hilarious because that just seems to be the mask that everybody wears when auditioning to play Batman. That was the same one that Christian Bale wore to play Batman.
And obviously would have been the one that Clooney went to audition.
Nah, he wore Adam West.
Clooney was
So-
the best.
What did you think of the Batman trailer? Both of you don't go first.
Who you want to go first?
You
No,
go
you
first,
can
Bryan.
go. You can go ahead, Brian.
Thanks. Ladies first. Okay. At first I was a little worried about Zoe Kravitz and Selena Kyle. Like, I was wondering if it was really going to work. And I see the potential. I can see it a lot more in this new trailer. I think she's going to pull it off. I think she's going to do very well. Colin Farrell as Penguin, man, like, you cannot even see that be Colin Farrell whatsoever. I'm really excited to see Colin Farrell as Penguin. I know he's going to do him justice. I can kind of already see that that cockiness of Penguin. I can already see that in the trailer, like when he's calling him sweetheart and stuff. I was very excited to see a little bit more of the Batmobile and some more of that action there. I would say it was good to finally see Alfred and see how he'll look there. But I think I guess my main concern is, like, I don't see Batman in that suit yet. Like, the way the mask is, you can see Robert Pattinson. Like, you can really see the details of Robert Pattinson's face. Whereas in other Batman masks and stuff like that, you couldn't really see the actor. Like, you could see. You know what I'm trying to say here. Like,
Yeah.
Like, you could see more of a disguise. You could see more of, like, okay, so this is Batman. But with Pattinson's outfit, I just see Pattinson acting as Batman. Like, I don't see.
I get what you're saying. Like,
It's hard to put in, and it's maybe because we see so much of the eyes. But like Michael with Adam West, like, you could see the bottom of the mouth and you could see that opening part, and you knew it was Adam West, but
His jawline, the mask of the jaw, so
yeah,
like on Christian Bale is so small for a mouth thing.
And it felt more like a cowl. And like when you look at Michael Keaton, especially in Batman '89, like, you can't really tell it's Keaton. And then when they change it up in Returns, you can see Keaton's face in it, but it's not like you're watching. It's almost like he doesn't even have a cowl. Don't have a cowl, man. It's almost like Pattinson's not even wearing a cowl. Like, it's just too forming to the face. I don't know. That's my only nitpick. And I am curious as why we are not seeing the Riddler's face.
the Riddler, what they're doing with him is the one thing I'm kind of like, what are you doing? Like, with his disguise and his look.
I just hope that it's a much more serious. It's taken much more seriously as a villain, because he's been a joke. Been a joke since the '60s, especially on screen.
Yeah.
Heck, I think that him half serious since the 60s Batman series.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
played by John Love.
Yep.
I mean, I was just telling you guys how it's getting close to Batman. Like, I'm going to see it. My hype level has just kind of died down on it. The trailer brought it up a bit. I'm going to see it no matter. And I hope it's going to be great. I did like some elements, like, so some things don't seem to fit a little bit, but I'm with it. It's like the suit, the way he's taking all of that automatic, all that automatic rifle fire straight to the armor,
Right?
And it's just ting 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 ting, and it's all like, and he's just taking it at point blank with all that fire and stuff. Like, the suit, I don't know what's going on with the suit being all. That's like heavy armor. The way it looks like it's hitting that suit, but then like the fighting, the destruction, the fall scenes on rooftops. Like, there's a lot to it that looks really great. Cinematography is amazing.
Yes, it does.
I am looking forward to checking this. I do hope that they've taken a lot of great elements and made a greatest hits Batman movie.
Yep,
and I hope they do it. I hope they do it well.
That's been my ongoing conversation piece. Is like, I feel like there's so many elements I feel like they're getting right and they're working on with this. But it definitely is like an angry Batman. And we will see more. But I'm hyped for it. I mean, because I always love the world on film, and the music sounds great. The look of Gotham looks awesome. I'm happy to see Penguin being taken seriously, compared to like how he's been taken as well. So that's another one of those, like, oh man, what are we doing? The Riddler I'm excited for because I think he's a great character, but just his whole look is perplexing to me. And the whole, like, the bat suit, what it looks like and all that kind of stuff, it looks fine enough, because I feel like Bryan was saying about how it looks. But my thought is, you know what they do every time is they make a suit, and then they're going to improve on it in the next movie.
Right.
So
you're totally right. Yeah.
They're going to improve on it, and I mean, even though it looks kind of different, and some people said weird or bad or whatever in images, like the close-ups and like the slow motion reveals, that type of stuff that's done. But in action, in the trailer, with it moving and some posts and stuff, it's looking pretty. I mean, not like the best Batman suit, but want to see what they do with it, what it does now, and what it can become.
Agreed. It looks good enough, like, for what they're doing with this, where it's even more Batman Begins in a way, because his suit really looks like it's more homemade, put together, starting from the beginning. Where, in Batman Begins, he was very much, he took a bodysuit, and yeah, we'll see where this goes, because I'm excited for it. My thing is, from the trailer, is we get one line of him saying, "What have you done?" in like his Batman voice, and it sounds like we're back to just being a low voice of him yelling compared to like the other line was the "I'm vengeance" line. So let's see what his bat voice sounds like, because that can always be what makes or breaks anything. Yeah. Affleck and BVS had the best Batman voice, just with that modulator.
It's the voice that makes the character.
Exactly. Because we all know how Bane sounded. I feel like Matt Reeves, maybe he can redeem all the villains that have been done a disservice.
I thought
that
I
would be
sounded
great.
Wonderful.
I hope good. I would love him to Bane.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Bane's not been done well, like, period. Like, Tom Hardy did good, but at the same time, Bane was underserved. So yeah. So that was Fandome 2021. The Batman being the big thing to come out of, because that's the next DC film.
That comes out in March.
Yep. The next DC show is Peacemaker in January, and then the Batman in March. 1 month before Sayla turns 5. So,
remember when Batman was coming out 5 years ago, and it was Ben Affleck?
Yeah. 5 years ago when we had just had BVS.
And we were happy.
Your daughter was like
not
itty
born.
bitty baby.
Not born.
Oh, not born.
It's crazy just because it's kind of like when the sequel working title for Superman Returns was Man of Steel. And then the working title for the Ben Affleck film was The Batman. And they've kept, it's a good title, so they kept it.
Yeah, well, we know how studios roll those things over from different scripts and different pitches and things like that. When something doesn't pan out, people think push it on to the next person.
Yeah, just like the story about how when Sam Raimi came in, they had an idea for Spider-Man 4. He's like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, okay. And they turned, and there was the script for The Amazing Spider-Man sitting on the desk, ready to go. So that's how they roll. But all right, guys, let's get out of here. It's late. It's tiring. And we got crime to fight. So remember.
Look up in the sky.
The Krypton Report is a Tears production. We thank you for listening and enjoying, and please support us on our Patreon account, our TeePublic store, and check out our social media. Always remember to look up in the sky.